Back on the chum as always. I'll show you what I'm doing today a little bit later, but you guys know what I do. Just get on the chum. Got a bunch of chum today. Alright guys, let's get fishing. Remember what I was saying last time about acorns? This time of year the oak trees are casting out all their acorns. They're all in my boat. If you get close to the bank, you will hear those acorns hitting the water. Like that, just except they're dropping from like 30 feet in the air, you know? And they sink, and these catfish will eat these acorns. You know? See if we can see what the chummer can do with them. I can't even hear them. I got my earplugs in. It throws the hard stuff faster, harder than anything else. But what I wanted to show you is, because they're feeding on these acorns, we've got some boilies made up. Now the boilies we have are, we're running a European type rig called a hair rig today. Get it out of here without any problems. It's a European type rig, and called boilies. You can make these, you know, they're just basically dough bait, and as you can see, that's about twice the size of, about 3-4 times the size. Really, it's about the size of 4 of them. So I made them way too big. But as you can see, this can have that. It sinks as well, you know. That one, it does sink. And what a lot of guys do overseas at the same time, they'll actually chum these. So we can take about 3-4 of them, see how far we can throw it. Let's just see. I don't know, I haven't heard it. Did you guys hear it? I mean, I've got my earplugs in and the wind's howling, so it seems like it casted a pretty long way. So here's what we have today, a totally different type of rig. We're gonna have to motor back up anyway, because we're already past our drift point where we last chummed. But what I have is my regular old drop shot rig, but what I also have is a hair rig rigged up, and I've got Big Boy out here. What I did was took my couple things. One, I took the butt from the LLCR9, the 9-weight fly rod blank, catfish rod blank that I did, and married it to the 5-6 weight tip. This is graphite, this is fiberglass. So it's kind of neat that way, right? So you got the sensitive tip of a 5-6 weight fiberglass rod with the backbone of a 9-weight graphite rod, and therefore it's lighter weight and all that kind of stuff. Dropper loop, 3/8 ounce lead like we always run, going to a dropper loop, going to what's called a hair rig. Now that's 20-pound test Dacron, basically fly line backing, going to a number 4 hook, and we've got a special thing called a boat rig or a hair rig. It's basically a snelled, it's basically what they call it's a snelled hook that has a loop at the end. The tag end is made into a loop where we're going to put our bait onto. And you see that all important angle there. So a hook here. And you're going to thread this onto the boilie. Take a boilie, see if I can find a little smaller one. And if you buy these, carp fishermen use them all the time. If you buy these, you can buy them round. So what we have is that right there. That goes, and we're running 8-pound test line today, guys, because I'm not fooling around with oh, that's not what we want. So we bent that hook out there, and what we'll do is we got several little pieces of bamboo that we chopped up earlier this week for this to serve as a stop. Okay, get a nice, a little small piece like this. A lot of people use a piece of a, well, I can see that chum slick where I did all that chumming. Wow, that's a nice visual cue. You can see that chum slick where I did all that chumming. Yeah, we're definitely gonna motor back up. We're just gonna fish that whole chum slick. And what you do here is right here. If you buy these at the store, they're round. Carp fishermen use them all the time. We'll put that on here like this. Make sure I'm getting a good angle on you there. For you there. You can use a twig. You could, I could take that leaf right there and use it, the wood off that leaf, and then put that on there, and that's how it works, right? And so we're just going to be dangling like that, and what this allows you to do is essentially use a sprout hook or a regular J hook, almost like a circle hook. I can set it, but if you look at that all-important angle, the angle is at an angle to where it will really help get a hold on the hit fish's lip. And what we're going to use, carp fishermen use a glug, basically we already chummed the area, so we could just drift this through the chum just fine. But this is my shark chum here that we're going to just dip this thing off into. And it is some nasty stuff. Shark blood chum. I put the company there. And see, it just coats it like that. It's a good little glug bait. And that'll give off. Let's see if you can see that. Can you see that there? Can you see all that? All that'll be just off into the water. So that'll help that chum slick. So what we'll do here is just get that back in there. And we'll motor back up here and get on the drift. You could. All right, we're about to start our first drift with the glug here. Doubt if we catch anything straight off the bat, but we'll let you know nonetheless. Run an 8-pound test line now instead of the normal 4. But we got our L190 Okuma ABF 40 on now, because we're specifically targeting catfish, and I believe in a light line approach, and I consider 8-pound test to be definitely light line for catfish. So what we're going to do is just drift this boilie and see what we can do perhaps. Doing a little bit of a change. Going to put a couple of black soldier flies there. I think hook got hooked up onto something. Still fairly sharp. Well, it's not really sharp, but we're going to put some black soldier flies there as well. See if we can't find a few more in here. These pretty much represent the very last black soldier flies of the season, at least in this area. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we got 2 on the bottom there serving as our rig stop. And we're going to impale 1, 2, 3, and 4 here, actually on our hook. So it's just sort of a quasi-Medusa rig, as they would call it, in some carp circles. The idea is you got a bunch of guys on there, and again, we're primarily targeting channel catfish again, and seeing what we can do. Very different kind of little bit different modification. You want to make a habit out of, the chum slick's way back over there. We're way away from it. So we need to get back. I think we need to get a little bit closer to the bank here. And go from there. A little bit closer to the bank, So Sometimes that's what it takes. Sometimes you need to be a little bit further away from the bank, so you just have to just try a bunch of different things and see what actually works. Haven't hooked into them yet. Again, specific. Oh yeah, that water temperature is greatly falling. Wouldn't be surprised as if it's in the 60s by now. Or at the very least, maybe right, at 70 or whatever, if not less than that. But we'll get back with you, see what we can do. Yeah, little channel. Now, I left my ABF. I left my ABF 20 at home. Again, I've never had any decent luck on anything more than I use anything more than 4-pound test line, and I just don't catch anything. I immediately stop and put on. I was fishing with 8-pound test line, not catching anything. We're using the boilies, catching nothing. Okay, the moment I put the black soldier flies on, I start catching fish. And maybe that's just what's in these waters, these little channel cats like that. That's fine with me. They'll eat, and I'm having fun. They may not be trophies, they may not be monsters, they may not make any record books, but when you're fishing to fill the freezer, it's okay. Because they'll eat. Those young fish are better eaten anyway. They're healthier to eat because they haven't accumulated mercury and all the mercury and things in the body. So you're better off fishing that anyway. So, but I generally like this stiffer rod. So I think that's why I averaged it out. I took a 4. Again, the tip is a 5-6 weight. The butt is a 9 weight. If you take that and average it out, you'll get something slightly less than like a 7 weight line. 7 weight rod. So that's so I think a 6-7 weight would be perfect for this kind of fishing. That's why for those of you who are interested in my the course or whatever I was talking about, that's why I choose a 7 weight fly rod. It's a light tackle approach. I'm probably never going to use more than about 4-pound line. These are clear waters. Water's a little bit sootier, dirtier than they normally are. But notice, I mean, I didn't have the camera on, but I just wasn't catching anything. All right. The moment I get back to 4-pound test line, bam, I start getting hookups. So this is what's working for me, and that's what I'm gonna do, guys. I don't know what works in your neck of the woods, but you gotta do what works. If it ain't working, don't worry about it. Just go do something else. And so that's a whole drift on 8-pound test line. Didn't catch nothing. The moment we switched back to 4-pound test line, that's when we caught something. And something's got it right now. Yep. Just putting 3 black soldier flies on it. I think that's a little brim there. I'm pretty sure about that. Yeah, he's mouthing it, but not hooking himself with it. Got another one. They've been running a nice school of them now out where we chummed and all. 4-pound test line. I'm keep telling folks this. This is what they biting on. It's because these ain't no monsters, and I'm not trying to catch trophy fish. uh, eat size, channel cat. And number 10 hooks. He's been eating too. I can feel his belly is full. Looks like he swallowed his own barbel. We're going to have to get a new hook. I got to order me some hooks that are thicker than this. May need some carp style hooks that are not bad. We'll get back on them. I think we got a little guy on here now. Oh, maybe not so little. Yeah, maybe not so little. As you can see, the rod's not doubled over like it was you've seen in times past, right? Because it's coming up against the butt of that 9-weight fly rod, that's all. And there we go again. Channel catfish, just out here in open water. There's a bunch of them. Oh, come on, dude. Don't go. If you poke me, dude. Alright, there we go. And once again, I used 3 of these hooks. It works better than 2. Ooh, this catfish has a hard mouth, boy. Now, I know these ain't no trophies, but I'm not trying for trophies. I'm trying for eating size. It's a good eating size fish. And those smaller fish like that are way better, again. The toxins and all the mercury and all that stuff's not all built up in their bodies. And so if I'm gonna eat, I fish to eat, not for sport. I do love doing it. It is fun, but the primary purpose is to stock the cooler, so I don't have to go to the grocery store and buy. This guy had me hung up pretty bad. Oh, no way. Oh, there we go. He just came off right there. Dish, 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 wrapped around. Oh, come on, dude. There's another one. Got me wrapped around something. We got another one just off of a little hump there. Oh, I think we got maybe a spot here. Ha ha. That's exactly what we got. A spotted bass. Dude, don't you be... Dude, seriously. Get him on the boat. Spot. Ain't no catfish here, baby. Spot. Man, he broke the hook off. Son of a gun, you broke the hook, man. Get his tongue depressed. Spotted bass, folks. Spotted bass. Nice. I've caught a much bigger than this, but it's good. Spotted bass right here, just off the bottom, just dragging. Now we're gonna have to re-rig because see what's happening is that line is so thin that it's cutting on the crook of that hook there. And that's why I was trying to snell with the 8-pound test, but every time I bump it up to 8, it just don't bite it. I mean, I keep this at 4-pound test. I keep catching fish all day. The moment I put any heavier line on there, it just stopped biting. So I don't know. Maybe it's time to switch to fluorocarbon. Maybe it's time to switch to fluorocarbon. What do you guys think about that? Fluorocarbon. Fluorocarbon. That way we can get the thicker pound test without the added but not increase the visibility. So I don't know. Always something else, huh? Or maybe we just need copolymer or something. I don't know. We'll figure something out. Probably gonna just, this is working, so we're gonna keep using it, keep doing it. Yep. So I'll get back at them. All we're basically doing is just dragging, just slow dragging, and we just right under the boat basically with the oars. And spotted bass. We'll keep on with our little drop shot method. It's working, so that's what I'm gonna keep doing. It's 4-pound test line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go there. There's that there, and we will keep on running. Yep. Be right back when we catch another one. Be right